Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thank you all for joining me at this time. My name is Shavi Zane, and I'm coming on to bring a message for the chosen. If you find that this resonates with you in any way, please be sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment below, and let us know how it resonates with your circumstance. So, first of all, chosen, I want to put out a disclaimer before I even begin. This message is not for everyone. I repeat, this message is not for everyone. I want to talk about the gaslighting. Okay. When people try to make you believe that you're crazy, even though you might intuitively sense something, or you may see something through your natural eyes, you may experience something, and they'll still turn around and tell you it's not what you think it was. It's not what you saw. It's not what you felt. It's not what you heard. It's not what you experienced, right? Straight out gaslighting has become a thing, okay? Or it's more highlighted now to where it's more evident because people's spiritual eyes are opening to see past the illusion. We have a lot that's going on right now. A lot that is coming out and happening here in 2024. The year is almost coming to a close, and the shit is hitting the fan the closer that we get towards 2025, which is the year number 9, the year of completions, where certain cycles are closing out. It could even be as big as certain empires crumbling down. Okay, certain relationships in your personal life coming to a close, certain businesses or a career paths where you're closing out that chapter, certain relationships romantically are being closed out and the chapter is completely done and finished. Whatever the case may be, we're coming towards year number 9, and you can feel the energy. You can feel the pushback. People just ain't ready. Now, I'm coming on to bring this message because I want to talk to you all specifically. This has been heavy on my mind lately, especially with what's going on with this whole P. Diddy thing. Sacrifices, okay? There are still people out there who think that those of us who are aware of being the sacrificial lamb of our families are delusional, right? You don't know what you're talking about, but yet and still, we watch things play out every day, multiple times a day. You see situations where people's lives are being taken. People are bribing others. The U.S. corporation. It's always sacrifices that are happening. The police department, you see it happening damn near every single day. But yet people will tell you that you don't know what you're talking about when you say that you know that you were placed to be the sacrificial lamb of your family. Now, a lot of people are fully aware that secret societies do exist. They're not so secret anymore, right? Because it's becoming very blatant and very clear. And so it's no longer a conspiracy theory. No, these things are being proven. But the names or the entities, they were able to cloak themselves, right? I'll just use like the Masonic establishment. I'll just use that first. They could say, oh, this is all about brotherhood, right? This is all about enlightening the youth. No, this is all about community, right? So they cloak themselves and say that that's the face of it. And somebody could join with the intentions, because they don't have full knowledge of what goes on behind closed doors. They don't have full knowledge of the rituals that's required. They don't have full knowledge of the vows that they're required to take. And they could go in with the right intentions and come out a totally different person. People need to recognize that those who are at the head of these secret societies, it is not your neighborhood gardener. It's not your grandma Betty. It's not your grandpa that's outside fishing every day. No, those who are at the head of these secret societies are very wealthy individuals with power. At least that's what they think, right? These are individuals who have power in the underworld. And so they recognize that everyday people most everyday people live in survival mode, right? You're looking for a way out. You're looking for that right connection with that right person that can get you in that door, that's going to help enhance your abundance, that's going to enhance your power and your ability to network and to, create your business. And, you're looking for that person, right? And so they know that there's a lot of people out here in these streets that are desperate, not to mention those who are potentially incarcerated or facing charges, who are desperate for a way out. They don't want to do that time. So they're looking for, who can they bribe? Who can they rub shoulders with? What can they do? What type of sacrifices can they make to avoid spending the next 5, 10, 15 years to life in prison? Or they may even do that for their loved one. Their lovely son is now facing, 50 years in prison. That mother or that father might say, you know what? I'll go and talk to this one over here at the Masonic Lodge, see what I can do, because my grandfather was a Mason. And so now there's something required of them, right? They may decide, okay, well, they love their son so much, but they got a daughter over here that they ain't never really messed with. So that daughter is disposable. So if it's required of them to put that daughter up for sacrifice, now she becomes the target. And sacrifice does not always mean unaliving someone. A sacrifice can mean that you'll keep that person in a low vibrational state. They'll be used for rituals. Their fear, their depression, their overactive sex drive, their addictions, these are all things that may be done through spell work to keep that person in a low vibrational state, and they siphon that person's energy. Or it can go as far as that person being unalived. These types of things happen every day. But a lot of people want to be in denial of it until it comes knocking at their front door. The chosen seed specifically have always had ops placed around us, always. And not only are they ops, but these are people who would ultimately be desperate for power, desperate for money, some even desperate for fame. And so you get in the presence of these people, and a lot of times they will be the first ones that will sell you out to the highest bidder. The first ones that want to get in line to become a part of these secret societies. The first one that wants to get in line to become a part of the entertainment industry by all means necessary. And so people such as P. Diddy is showing you right there in your face that there are requirements. If you really want to raise up certain ranking and certain ladders, there are ritualistic things. There are vows that must be taken. There are things that must be done behind the scenes, and you must keep it very, very quiet. Meantime, in between time, they're out here scouting, looking for people, pulling people off of the street to perform these rituals on. And who knows how dark and sinister it really got. Okay? Because that's only one scenario that we're seeing out here in the public. So I'm telling you all, it's so important to recognize that you got to stop gaslighting people. You got to stop telling people that they don't know what they're talking about, because people will do a whole lot of things in desperation. Unhealed people will do a lot of things in desperation. And we're talking about a world full of unhealed people, a world full of people who are in survival mode, a world full of people who are living in fear. They have no true divine connection to the Most High Mother and Father, because they haven't gone through that dark night of the soul to discover themselves, to come into the realization of who they are, and to overcome those demons that's trying to keep them chained and bound. A world full of people who are under a spell, walking zombies, sleeple and sheeple. Stop gaslighting people and saying that those of us who are awakened, that see things from a higher perspective, that feel things and that understand, like, something ain't right about that auntie over there. Something ain't right about my mama. Something ain't right about my stepdaddy or my sister or my brother. Why does it feel like they have this vengeance? Why does it feel like, given the opportunity, they would take me up out of here for 50 grand? It's not just your imagination. These are things that's been happening. Life insurance policies, buying those is at an all-time high. Every time you look up, somebody talking about life insurance. There's a reason for that. People are desperate. And those who sit at the top of these secret societies, they recognize that. And that's been the objective, to keep people in a position of desperation, because ultimately those desperate people will be used as the perfect pawns in their chess game. They will be the perfect pawns to surround the chosen and to use the chosen as sacrifice. It's no different than the biblical story of the Jesus that many people love to worship. Based on the biblical depiction, they're saying that Jesus was surrounded by what? Disciples. But he had his Judas who went over to the people in rulership and sold them out easily for a pardon and for some money. And this is someone who walked with Jesus, who understood the energy of Jesus, right? Who understood the good nature of Jesus. But yet and still, when he was given that opportunity to sell him out, he did just that. And that's because those people who was in a position of authority understood that everywhere there's a Messiah, there will always be a pawn. Everywhere that you find a Messiah, there will always be a Judas in every circle. This is why you have to use discernment and know who you have around you. Pay attention to the energies that you have around you. Here in the age of Aquarius, we ain't taking, listen, the moment you see a red flag, you haul ass. You don't even waste time here in the age of Aquarius. Because the powers that were recognize the desperation of man. Because they helped to create that desperation. They helped to ensure that only 1% would have the wealth, while the rest would be in poverty and trying to work their way out. Most who would be in so much desperation and fear that they would do anything by any means necessary. And if they come through as the devil that they are and say, I'll give you the whole world. I'll give you power. I'll give you fame. I'll give you pardons. You don't even have to worry about that sentence. Or you don't have to worry about your son or daughter during that time. I'll get them up out of that. I'll give you money. All of these things, right? People that are unhealed would eat it up and take advantage of that with no problem. No problem. But recognize that even in biblical texts, when that was presented to the Messiah, right? One of many Messiahs, because many of you are Messiahs out there. But when it's presented to a Messiah, when that type of temptation is presented to a chosen seed, it's easy for us to say, hell no. You better flee. You best to get up out of my face, right? Because you recognize where your blessings come from. You know where your inheritance comes from. You know where your wealth and your abundance comes from. You know where your peace and joy comes from. It comes from the Most High Mother and Father. And so you cannot be bought. And so because you can't be bought, the powers that were figure you can be sold though. And you know who would sell you out? That same karmic family member, that same karmic friend, that same karmic co-worker, that same karmic, what do you call it? Sorority or fraternity brother or sister, that same karmic lover will sell you out to the highest bidder. You can't be bought, but they damn sure figure you can be sold. And that's why discernment must be used for the chosen, especially today. Because it's always been wicked. The powers that were have always been wicked, but they're just getting even worse now because there's desperation now. They're desperate for a soul. They need a soul to be sold, especially when you have that divine connection. Oh, they need another sacrifice of a Messiah. Matter of fact, they don't just need one sacrifice of a Messiah. They need many sacrifices of Messiahs. And that's why you're seeing a lot of these police shootings and killings that's happening today. Because they understand that through a bloodline, a Messiah is always born. And that's that one person that would be considered to be the black sheep. That's that one person that will be different. That's that one person that will be the rebel. That's that one person that would never feel like they fit in. But here in the age of Aquarius, that one person would awaken to who they are, the power that they possess, their divine calling, their purpose. That one person will break the generational curses. That one person will start speaking truth. That one person will tame their own carnal nature. And so at that point, the powers that were, you can't be sold anymore. So not only can you not be bought, but because of who you are and because of the healing that has happened for you here in the age of Aquarius, you also cannot be sold because you are divinely protected. But it doesn't mean that you don't have a testimony behind the trials and tribulations that you had to go through to duck and dodge all of those bullets and missiles and Judases that was trying to surround you so that they could sell you for the highest bid. You got a testimony to bring. Many of you do. Like I said, this message is not for everybody. But there are a lot of people who will look at you and say you're delusional and you're crazy. Why? Because you made it through? Because I guarantee you, if you wasn't here to tell the story, they will be the same ones speculating, oh, it must have been so-and-so, and I bet you they did this because of so-and-so. They do it all the time to people who are not here to tell the story. But when you live through it and you're here to tell the story of how you was almost sacrificed and how your family tried to put you in addictive patterns or try to put you down at your lowest and watch you drown, left you for dead. When you're here to express those testimonies, those same people will look at you and say you're crazy, you're paranoid, you're overthinking, and all types of things. Only the real understand. And so know that you are not alone out there. Many of you that have gone through these things, many of you that have survived the dead walking, that was looking for a soul, that was looking for, a soul to sell to the highest bidder, you understand the journey. You are not alone. The truth will be revealed whether these beings like it or not. And those who sit behind the curtain, running the show, those who sit behind the curtain, being the puppet masters, they are being exposed. And the more that you expose people, the more that people start looking over and it's like, ooh, now they see that it's a damn curtain. Most of them were so blind that they didn't even see a curtain. All they saw was the show. All they saw was the puppets. But when them spiritual eyes start to open because the chosen are speaking out, you're talking about it more. You're not hiding it. You're not afraid of judgment. You're not afraid of people calling you crazy and delusional. The more that the chosen seed starts coming forward with your testimonies of what it feels like to be a Messiah that was able to overcome the sellout of that Judas, the more that people will look over at that show and realize it's a damn curtain. I see strings. Hold up. It's something more to this. This ain't just, this goes beyond my natural understanding. What's behind the curtain? Then people start asking questions on a much deeper level. And when people start asking questions, answers must be presented. Now it's no longer a conspiracy theory. Now it's no longer people sitting around that's bored that ain't got nothing better to do, right? That's what the powers that were wanted you to believe. But we're already over that and we're past it, and we will not allow them to continue to gaslight us. Come out, chosen. Bring your testimonies forward. Speak your truth, because people such as P. Diddy and others who are, using P. Diddy as a puppet, they will be exposed the more that people come forward and speak out. That's my message for you all. I love you. I hope that this brought you clarity. Like, subscribe, leave a comment below. Let us know what you think, and I'll talk to y'all next time.